let's talk about the final stop on our journey through the chakras, the seventh chakra, known in Sanskrit as Sahasrara. You might have heard it called the crown chakra. It's located right at the top of your head, but it's different from the others. It doesn't really belong to the body in the same way. Sahasrara represents pure consciousness itself, not your thoughts, not your emotions, not even your identity. It's the space of simple, unattached awareness, while the lower chakras focus on our survival, our desires, our power, our love, our expression, and how we see the world. The seventh chakra asks a completely different question. What's left when all of that finally goes quiet? You see, Sahasrara isn't something we need to activate or force open. It's something we allow to unfold. Unlike the other chakras that involve doing, the seventh is all about just being. It's that place where all the effort dissolves, where the need to control everything finally ends, and where the tight grip on our separate sense of self starts to soften. This is precisely why many spiritual traditions warn against trying to blast the crown chakra open. Without being grounded in our bodies, without emotional maturity, and without integrating our psychological shadows, forcing this opening can lead to feeling disconnected from reality, not enlightened. True Sahasrara doesn't pull us out of life. It brings us more fully into it, with a new depth and clarity. From a psychological perspective, the seventh chakra is all about meaning, but not a meaning that's handed down to us from books or gurus. It's a sense of meaning that arises naturally from within when our entire system is balanced and integrated. When the lower chakras are in harmony, the mind doesn't need to build walls of belief to feel safe. Faith stops being a concept and becomes a lived experience. A person with a balanced seventh chakra isn't clinging to rigid doctrines or a specific spiritual identity. They're comfortable with mystery and don't need absolute certainty to feel secure. When Sahasrara is imbalanced, we often see one of two extremes. The first is a kind of spiritual nihilism, deep feeling that nothing matters, that life is just empty or absurd. The other extreme is spiritual inflation. This is the ego trip of believing you're somehow chosen, more awakened, or superior to others. Both of these states are just different ways the ego tries to escape the vulnerability of simply not knowing. They are defense mechanisms. The seventh chakra is often misunderstood as the ultimate goal of all spiritual work, the final destination. But it's not a place you arrive at, it's an emergent state. It happens on its own when your nervous system feels safe, when your emotions are processed and integrated, when you own your personal power responsibly, when love is something you embody, when you speak your truth, and when your perception is clear. Only then can your consciousness finally rest in itself. Sahasrara isn't floating above the other chakras like a prize. It's held up and supported by all of them working together. Physiologically, the seventh chakra is connected to the brain, the pineal gland, and the subtle regulation of our biological rhythms. But its effects are usually felt more as an absence than a specific sensation. It's a feeling of spaciousness in your mind, a quiet clarity, a sense of being connected to everything without even trying. People with a truly balanced crown chakra aren't the ones constantly talking about spirituality. They just live it. They tend to be grounded, fully present, and refreshingly ordinary. There's nothing flashy or dramatic about real integration. Spiritually, Sahasrara represents unity. Not unity as a cool idea to think about, but as a direct, felt experience. It's the profound realization that our sense of separation is temporary and functional, not absolute. It's understanding that your identity, your personality, your preferences, your story is a tool for navigating the world. But it isn't the whole truth of who you are. Life isn't something that's just happening to you. It's happening through you. This doesn't erase your individuality. It just puts it into a much larger, more beautiful context. You still have your unique personality, your boundaries, and your tastes, but you no longer mistake them for the entirety of your being. One of the most crucial aspects of the seventh chakra is surrender. And I don't mean passive resignation or just giving up. I mean an intelligent release. It's the willingness to stop trying to micromanage the unfolding of your life. This doesn't mean you stop taking action. It means you act without being desperately attached to the outcome. When Sahasrara is balanced, there's a quiet, unshakable trust in the process of life. Not because you believe everything will always be pleasant, but because you sense that everything is intelligible and meaningful on a much deeper level. So, what practices can support the seventh chakra? They're surprisingly simple. Silence, just being present. Quiet contemplation, spending time in nature. It's not about chasing peak experiences or forcing some kind of spiritual insight. It's simply about allowing your awareness to notice itself. The more we try to grasp or achieve the crown chakra, the more it seems to recede. It only opens when our striving finally relaxes. The seventh chakra is not about escaping the world. It's about seeing the world and yourself with total clarity. It doesn't magically remove suffering from life, but it completely changes your relationship to it. You are no longer just the one who suffers. You are also the awareness that witnesses the suffering. And in that space of witnessing, something profound becomes possible. You can find peace without denial. You can find meaning without needing illusions. And you can feel deeply connected without losing your sense of self. Sahasrara is the quiet, natural culmination of the entire inner journey. It's not a crown to be placed on your head, but a vast, open space that reveals itself within your own consciousness. There's nothing to achieve, and there's nothing to prove. There is only awareness, finally resting in itself. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through the chakras. I hope it's given you some valuable insights. If you enjoyed this series, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. See you in the next video.